Welcome to Small Business, Big Network, the podcast for small business owners who want big results from their networking. I'm Liz Drury, a freelance voiceover artist who knows that if you're not working, then networking could help. Karen Levitt is the founder of Live Chat Factory, a service that provides live chat on websites, Messenger, WhatsApp, etc., and also telephone answering. As well as general business networks, Karen has found it useful to join networks that her clients belong to as well. Thank you very much for being my podcast guest today, Karen.
Oh, it's a pleasure, Liz, and it's lovely to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Now, you're the founder of the Live Chat Factory. Is this an area that you've worked in for a while, and how did you get into it?
So, yes, it is actually, because at Live Chat Factory, we're all about customer service. Mm-hmm. And I've worked in and around customer service from really my first job when I was at school. And that was actually in the local chippy.
Really?
Yeah. And what I loved was, being ahead of the game and making sure everybody got everything they needed. Yeah. And I was very busy. I think it comes from being the eldest of five and wanting to look after people. And so really, I've always been in customer service.
And do you think that was a really worthwhile experience, as a youngster working in a chip shop?
Absolutely. Yeah, it taught me a really good work ethic. And what I found about myself was I enjoyed it. I enjoyed people liking what I did, giving me that praise. So I say the chippy, and I say that because it was round the corner from us. It was a kind of a safe place, if you like.
Yeah.
I was only 14. But what I loved was that they went back to my parents and said, oh my gosh, she's amazing. She's a really hard worker. And that, excelled me. That made me do more, and I wanted to please them. And I think I look at that as, as part of when my advisors, I make sure that if they're doing a good job, and only when they're doing a good job, that I make sure to tell them and, give them that praise.
Yeah, I think that's so important for people's motivation, isn't it?
I think so. It certainly motivated me. And my parents were both really hardworking anyway. And as I say, the eldest of five, I had to sort of pitch in. But I found I enjoyed it. I like hard work. I like getting on with things and having things to do and projects. And so customer service is ideal for me, I think. Yeah.
So what was the next step on your career ladder after the chip shop?
So I had work out. I'm from the north, as you can probably tell, and I did a couple of jobs in the north. One being in a factory, and it was an underwear factory. So really, Liz, I used to sit and sew knickers. I lasted about 2 weeks. And went home to my mother and went, this isn't for me. This is dreadful and I can't do this. So then I got into the advertising industry. I got a job. And it really was really at the bottom rung. I was doing some collating and some helping in the printing press and then moved down south.
Yeah.
Few years later, moved down south. And got a job started work with advertising agencies. So it was FCB to begin with, and then went on to others. And from there, sort of worked myself up, always in a customer service role. Once I got to London, I started being more front facing, dealing with clients, or talking to clients. And so I found that area I really excelled in. And so luckily, so did my managers. So they promoted me in that. I became got onto projects that dealt with contacting clients, selling to clients. And I found I had a natural flair. So that's the route I took until I got a job at Which after I had my children. And Which consumer organisation. And I literally got a part-time job because I was doing some photography as well on the side. It was just something I'd got into when I had my children. and found I loved it. I loved, again, the customer help, supporting people who had complaints about their fridges or they bought something they weren't sure about. And I became, visible in the team. So I got promoted quite easily, became a manager. So what had become a sort of a stopgap became a real career path for me. And which were very good to me. They identified that I was somebody they could support, and they took me on a great journey, and I ended up doing some fantastic projects for them. One of which was introducing live chat to which I did several years ago, and it started in the legal service. It became a success. It was a real success. And we then promoted it, or I delivered it all across of which across all their divisions. And as far as I know, it's still there, the same model. So I'm quite proud of that.
Yeah. So what made you want to go out on your own and start up your own business?
So I was working at Which in Hertford, and they decided to sell the Hertford base and move to Bristol. Bristol wasn't an option for me. So while I was happy helping transition the business over to Bristol, had some great times in Bristol. It was lovely. We got a great team in place. I decided that no, we needed to part ways. So that's what I did. But I'd always had this idea from the first moment I'd used live chat of what a fantastic tool this is. What great, it's great to get in touch with people, and people love it, and it's so easy and it's so obvious to me. It was just like a light bulb moment. What a great way to connect. So I'd always had this idea, and I'd always had the name from the idea. And the idea was could help businesses with their communication. And add live chat and start chatting. And I actually had the name. Now, the name came from two places. The fact that I lived in the north and loved the factories, loved what they became, the wine bars, the apartments, and working in one initially. And I also liked the ethos of Andy Warhol, his factory, work for, art for all. And that's kind of all fell in with my values and what I wanted for my business. I wanted it to be really supportive, full of value for the person that I was giving support to, and this help. And all my advisors, I wanted to make sure that they were in a great environment, that I was looking for people from diverse backgrounds, that they all brought their expertise to this. So we all worked as a group. So Live Chat Factory, that's how it began.
And tell me how live chat actually works. So somebody arrives on a website, what happens next?
So if it's a good live chat, which ours is for our clients, they would arrive on a website. In most cases, you're asked for your name, your email address, and your question. Now, the reason for that is because, A, it's nice to have a name. An email address is in case we lose you and we need to get back to you. And the question is so the advisor on the other end can be ready and sort of have an idea of, this is how I can support this person. This is how I can help them. The next thing is you go to chat. You should be welcomed, usually within 20 seconds. Hello, and with your name. I'm reading your question. Please give me a moment. And then there's some kind of response. And that's as simple as that. And it can last for seconds, literally, or it can last for minutes and in sometimes days. And I know that sounds strange, but the to-ing and fro-ing can last for some time.
And who do you do this for? What kind of clients do you have?
So my clients tend to be in the service industries. So I have beauty industries, food industry, with creatives, as in auction houses, which is really interesting. And as I'm just trying to think, trainers. We have, when I say service industry, so we have people like design and window film. So they do big projects like bomb blast mitigation, big design murals for schools and businesses. So those type of people. And I guess really what it boils down to is if your customers have questions. So that's the type of people who we can really help.
Now, that's quite a diverse array of industries. How do you know the answers to the questions, Karen?
I know we get asked this such a lot, and I love it. Do you know, it's a lot easier than you think. So we have to be very specific to that company, and to that business. So I initially give a 2-week free trial to everybody. Now, in that first week, it's about getting to know you, as the song goes. And we really do look at frequently asked questions, the onboarding materials. We have chats with the business, who's the head of customer service. What regular emails do you get? What questions do you get asked? And that's what it is about. I always say to people, we're not experts in your business, but we will become experts in your customer. So we have a toolkit that quickly gets us to that point. So we know the questions to ask. I mean, it's always organic. We're always learning on the spot, and even the business is learning on the spot. We do reports monthly, and they're always amazed by, oh gosh, so that's our most popular question. They expect something else, but live chat can certainly bring up another dimension to that.
Yeah, definitely. So have you been asked any really tricky or unusual questions?
Yeah, we do get asked some quite bizarre ones, and it's funny on live chat. We had the auction house, for instance. We get things like Oriental carpet. And you've got to kind of you've got to understand then. So the questions you would ask then is, are you looking for a valuation, or are you looking for a condition report of an Oriental carpet we're auctioning? It could be either or. But once you kind of get that, they might just go, yes. And then you've got to identify again, is it a valuation? Sort of break it down. And it's just strange things like that. I did get a conversation the other day about rainbows and pies, which was quite bizarre. And that there's a pie at the end of the rainbow. And this was for a pie company we're chatting for. Just great. We just say, yes, lovely. That sounds fantastic. And I will search for that pie.
A golden pie, presumably.
A golden pie. What could be better?
So what difference do you think having live chat makes to a business?
So live chat is one of the services we offer, but I absolutely believe it is crucial in the 21st century to have live chat or some written digital service for your clients or your customers going forward, because they kind of expect it, and they're usually on the go now. People just want that either immediate, or they want to have felt they've sent it and it's a speedy service. And what I mean by that is email, is still a big one. That is still very important. But things like live chat on your website or business WhatsApp, these are Facebook Messenger. These are not only good to promote your business, they're also good for people to contact you, because these are the channels they're using all the time. These are what they're using in their personal life. So it's easy for them to switch between and ask a question, and that question could be the difference of them using your service or not. Well, let's say your answer, your response could be the difference between them using you or not.
Do you offer is it a 24/7 service that you offer?
We do offer a 24/7 service. Most of our clients opt for the business hours, maybe extended business hours model. And the reason for that is because out of hours, we do a lot. Out of hours, we offer a messenger bot. And that picks up what we call tickets. So somebody would fill that in and they're advised, we will get back to you within 24 hours.
Yeah.
Now, that is usually the next morning or the early hours of that morning. So it's usually around 8 a.m. One of the team will pick up the tickets and do them all. So there's that consistent level of customer service going on 24 hours. Now, the reason I say that is because when we do the reports highlight when one of our clients' customers are coming through. So when are they talking to them? When are the hot spots? When are the most popular times? Now, if, say, it was 2:00 in the morning and I haven't come across that yet, then we would happily be on there chatting and covering that. But you do find that in the UK, and as we are UK based and all my clients are UK based, it's usually just extended business hours works well.
Yeah. And so what size is your team now? It's not just you, is it, Karen?
No, oh gosh, no. No, I've grown, significantly actually. So all in all, the whole support network for Live Chat Factory, there's around 10 of us. They're not all full time, and some people pop in and pop out. But I have a core of 4 who are full time and work with me solely on, progressing website, delivering Live Chat Factory, and progressing our service, making sure we're at the forefront of what we need to be, what do we need to know, what can we offer, what is of further value to our clients, do they need to know this, what, especially with reporting, we'll highlight trends, we tag chats. So as I say, they're always aware of what is going on with the customers. We like to have that really close relationship. But the big word I would use here, Liz, is innovative. We like to be innovative. And that's where we're all coming from. Everybody at the factory, we like to be, at the cutting edge of what is happening in customer service. Let's raise the bar for live chat.
Yeah, great. So let's have a chat about networking now then. So how do you use networking for Live Chat Factory?
So when I first started, I don't think I was very good at networking. I probably didn't listen enough. I probably didn't utilize it enough. But I think you learn, don't you, after a time. Well, for me, the changing point was thinking, what do I actually want to get out of this? Because I got busier and I thought, I want to network, but I need, I'm spending a lot of time networking and it's just seems very frivolous. So I had to kind of sit myself down and think, what do I want to get out of it? So I asked, did I want a support group? Did I want to sell my business to people? Did I just want to promote my business? Did I just want to raise visibility or increase visibility for Live Chat Factory? So, I thought, once I started thinking about it, that determined how I introduced myself to people. And for me, it was, yes, there's an element of selling Live Chat Factory, but I wanted to have that support. I realised I appreciated the support. So from that, I joined Heart's Chamber. And I've realised about myself what I like lots of information. While I'm networking, I like to learn something as well. So the Hearts Chamber, they gave, and they still give, lots of free informative events. Everything from looking at your carbon emissions to marketing to everything. So I found that's been great for me. And also networking then with like-minded people. And it also gives you something to talk about after the network. You can go up to somebody, what did you think of that? Because sometimes it can be like the first day of school if you're doing a face-to-face, can't it? It can be a little bit daunting. So I found that really great for me. Net for Biz, that you know well, Liz. Again, David is a font of all knowledge.
Yeah.
So that's been really great for me, and a lovely support. I got introduced by somebody I connected with in MK Collaborate, Mandy Allen, and who has also been a great supporter of mine. So I tend to do now look at events that I can learn something. So one of the things I would say to people is look at who you want to do business with or who you want to partner with. So for instance, I look on LinkedIn now, and I'm an avid user of LinkedIn. I'm constantly on LinkedIn in fits and starts, and I add a few posts a week, but I like to comment on other people's. But I also have joined like some industry professionals, so like customer service professionals that's relative to me, the Metaverse Consortium, I'm very interested in technology. But then I look at the beauty industry, and I'm part of their groups. I'm part of the auction house industry. I'm part of the glazing and window film industry. I'm part of the care industry. These are my clients.
Yeah.
So I want to find out what's happening in their world. But it's a great opportunity for me to see how I can approach them. So there is a little bit of the selling part of that as well. And I think that's really good if you can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what difference would you say that networking has made to your business?
I think networking has been the most important thing, to be honest, because some of my clients I've got from referrals from people who have decided, well, yeah, Karen, she knows what she's talking about. She'll help you. I mean, and how lovely is that? I so
Yeah.
appreciate it. Equally, if I can support somebody, I will, always. But it's an honour to be sort of singled out, and it's amazing how many people, once they do get to know you, will help you.
Yeah.
But I think you have to work out what it is first. Your networking ideal is. And,
Yes.
you know, it is, if it is support, great, say it out there. You know, I want support. I need support. And I'm looking, and it will just happen organically. It will happen normally. People will understand what you do. They'll get to know what you do. And then they'll see how they can support you and how they can help you.
Yes. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. So finally then, Karen, if people want to know more about you or about Live Chat Factory, what is the best place for them to find you?
So the best place would be on LinkedIn. And it would be, so it's Karen Lever at Live Chat Factory, or my email address is info@livechatfactory.live. My number, which you can ring the office number, is 01707 246 583. But before I go, Liz, can I just tell you a quick story?
Please do.
Right. Okay. So when I started networking, I belonged to a group called Collaborate MK. And it was great because we were in a pandemic, so I couldn't go and visit anyway. And I went to Collaborate MK every week. It was a big group, and I quite enjoyed it actually. So pandemic ended, and I couldn't go to Collaborate MK anymore because, you know, it was too far. I live in Hertfordshire, so it was a little bit too far for me. So one weekend I was in Borough Market in London with my sister and her partner, and I was trying on a kimono, a dressing gown kimono.
Yeah.
And this guy came up to me who was with a lady and went, "That'd look good at MK Collaborate." I was upset, like, oh my gosh. And it was one of the guys from MK Collaborate. And he said, "I did check on LinkedIn that it was you," and it was stuff. And I was kind of like taken aback. I went, "Oh, so would you like it?" And he went, "Yeah." I bought the nightgown, the dressing gown.
But have you been to MK Collaborate in it though?
Not yet. Not yet. I must do. I'll take it with me.
That's brilliant.
Just good. Yeah. The power of networking.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a great story. Well, thank you very much for being my guest this morning, Karen, and I look forward to seeing you at a networking meeting soon.
Absolutely, Liz, and it's been great. Thank you so much.
Thanks for listening to Small Business, Big Network. If you found this podcast useful, please do rate, review and subscribe. And don't forget to share it with the rest of your network too.